let's fade that microphone up. There we go. And let me see what screen have I got on. I've got that screen. So I'm going to cut to this one. Hello and welcome to Live from the Home Office quarantine quiz number 10. This is the last planned quarantine quiz because we're not really in quarantine anymore, most of us. Apologies to those who are still quarantined. But yeah, there's not going to be much of an audience if most people are going back to work. So this is the last one for now. If you want to do more in the future, let me know and we'll see what I can do. I'm looking slightly blue. The white balance is slightly off on this camera, and I'm not going to change it now because the quiz has started. So we're just going to be slightly blue. Certainly bluer than this other camera I've got for you. This is a special treat for you. In a few of the previous quizzes, I have been distracted or otherwise disturbed by birds in the garden. So today, I've got a camera rigged up, and this is bird cam. So you can see the bird feeder, which, as you can tell, because it's on camera, has no birds on it. Welcome to the quiz, guys. Possibly got a couple of new people in, so I will run through the housekeeping as usual and start with the picture round whilst I run through the housekeeping. So without any further ado, if I press this button and then this button, this is this week's first of two, because I've got two this week, picture quizzes, and this is the names of companies, and there's a whole range of different companies, some of them tech companies, some of them food companies and clothing companies and so on. There's a few different ones in there, and these are all cryptic companies. Now number two, particularly if you're viewing in Britain, apologies if you're viewing in the US, number two is really, really easy. You'll soon understand what the score is. So there is round number one. Please don't put any answers in the chat if you are new. That's not how this works. You just make a note of your own answers and score yourself, and then we do this on trust. So, housekeeping, knock yourselves out on the picture quiz while I'm going through this. So welcome to the quarantine quiz, live from the home office. I'm Tom TX Wellham, and this is my home office. As usual, I'm going to run the picture round whilst I go through. Yes, I've said that. Right, so there are no prizes. This is just for a bit of fun. Please don't Google the answers. That kind of takes the fun out of it. But if you do have kids on your team, I'm looking at you, Craig, then if I ask you a history question, they want to run off and get a history book, then they're more than welcome to, and we can put that down as homeschooling. If you do have kids with you, parental guidance is advised. I'm not planning on saying anything naughty during the quiz, but you never know what might happen. If you want to video call your friends, family or colleagues, phone a friend, ask the audience, 50-50, most of those lifelines don't exist in this game, but you can video call your friends, family or colleagues and form an online team if you want, or just get somebody on the phone and ask them, because appreciate you can't necessarily get together as a team like you would normally do in a quiz. So during the quiz I will be watching the comments next to the live stream on YouTube only, so if you do message me because you know me personally, if you message me on my phone I probably won't get that message, and if you message the Live from the Home Office Facebook page or tweet at LFT Home Office, I won't see that until after the quiz. So if you do have a question, please ask in the chat, but don't post the answers in the chat because other people can see that and it spoils it. I would normally at this point say if you find the quiz too easy, too hard, or if you like one of the rounds or you don't like the formats of one of the rounds, let me know in the comments. All feedback is welcome and then I'll tweak it for next time, but there is no next time. I'm still open to feedback for if/when we do another one, but for now this is the last one. In the event that we lose the live stream for some reason, I'm currently showing a green light and it says excellent connection, and I gather that people can see and hear me, so if we do lose the live feed for some reason, I will attempt to reconnect, but it might come up as a new stream. So the link that you clicked on to reach this video that you're watching and listening to now might not be the same one that you need to reconnect. It might come up as a different video. So do hit subscribe so it's easier for you to find me again if we do lose the stream. One of the reasons we might lose the stream is because the robots on the internet may pick up on some of the music we play on the music round and say, oh, that's copyrighted music, you're not supposed to have that, and then it will cut the stream. We tend to avoid that because we're only playing a few seconds of a clip, sort of fair use policy and all that. It's not as if I'm making an entire track available to you to download, because I'm not. But sometimes the overzealous robots go, "Oh, that's music, you can't have that," and cut me off. If that does happen, if I can't get the live stream back up, then I have an offline recording which I will re-upload later, and then you'll still be able to take part in the quiz. It just won't be live, which is half the fun. And that is the end of the housekeeping. So welcome to Quarantine Quiz number 10. The last one for now. The clap for carers lasted for 10 weeks, so I thought the quiz could probably end after 10 weeks. It's a sort of an appropriate amount of time, now that we're all starting to get back to things. 10's a nice round number as well. Hello to Sarah in the comments, who says hi. Please, sir, when we have some more, says Jiff. I'm assuming that means, can we have some more quizzes? I mean, you're more than welcome to have more quizzes, but I don't think now's the right time. Perhaps we'll do it on a weekend or something, because the weekday slot is a bit mad. I'm writing it late on a Thursday and getting it ready, so... How are we getting on with the cryptic company names? Do we need more time? Let me know in the comments. If you're pretty much there, then we'll move on to picture round 2, because I've got not one but 2 picture rounds for you today. So we're going to get through it slightly quicker to try and finish by 5:30. So I hope you're all well. Thank you very much for joining me again. Some of you have been here for every single quiz, so thank you very much for your dedication. Perhaps you feel like you're doing a community service by keeping me entertained and out of trouble on a Friday. Either way, it's good to have you here. Anybody need more time? If not, I'm going to move on to round 2 of the picture quiz. If there's any in particular that you're struggling with, I might be able to give you a bit of a clue, so do let me know. For example, number 15 is quite tricky, that one, but think about the character, certainly not the actor, who is now not very popular, but the character that he's playing there, famous bald-headed character from a movie. Right, let's move on. So that was round 1. Round 2, guys. These are all famous doctors. Number 4 was a doctor who was famous for very, very bad reasons, so I've swapped him out for a much more fun doctor. Hopefully none of the other doctors on here are famous for really, really bad reasons. They're all sort of fictional or good people, I hope. Apologies if any of these doctors offend you with their existence. So this is doctors. They're all famous doctors. So we're just looking for their real name if they are a real person, or their character's name if they are a fictional character. I've got a request for number 14. I presume that was number 14 on the cryptic company one. Whatever it's called, cryptic company names. Yeah, number 14, that was, it was an old, well, it's a £1 note, I think it was. We don't have £1 notes anymore, but it was a £1 note, and then the wheel of an aeroplane. Whilst you're doing the doctor's round, I'm just going to fade my microphone out, because I'm just going to see if I can fix the terrible blue colour on my camera so that I don't look like Leonardo DiCaprio at the end of Titanic when I switch back to the camera. Right, there we go. I have tweaked the camera. So when we come back to camera, I can't do anything about my face, I'm afraid, but at least the colour temperature is slightly warmer. And if you heard that noise, that was just my trousers on the chair. This chair's a bit squeaky and I've just sat down and shuffled, so it makes a noise. How are we doing with the doctors? Let me know if you need any more time. I'll be very, very impressed if anybody gets 30 out of 30 on the 2 picture rounds. But we'll see. I think I probably would have got maybe half of these doctors. The company name's probably only about half of them as well, so if you can beat a score of 15 across the 2 picture rounds, then I think you would have beaten what I would have got. Do let me know if you need any more time, guys. Let us know if you're done. Just type done in the comments if you're done as well. Just give us some indication of how many teams have finished. We're up to 11 concurrent viewers, so very warm welcome to you if you just joined us. If you just joined us, we're doing some picture rounds. There are no prizes, so don't worry if you've come in halfway through the quiz. It matters not, it's just a bit of fun. YouTube is telling me that there's something to do with the audio stream's current bitrate, but that's okay. I think that's because I faded my mic out and there was just silence for a moment. So how are we doing? Let me know in the comments. If you are new, please don't say any of the answers in the comments. Just write your answers down on a bit of paper at home if you have such a thing, or on a phone or a tablet or a computer screen, and just see how you did. It's just a bit of fun. And we've got a couple of picture rounds. We've got general knowledge. We've got something we call answer mash, and then we've got music round. And then it's 5:30 and it's the end of the quiz. Right. Nobody's saying anything, so I assume everybody's getting on all right. So I am going to bring you back into the room, and we will just quickly. Oh, hang on, wrong button. I'm going to bring you back into the room. There we go. And as you can see, I'm slightly less blue, but now it looks like I'm a little bit too warm now. So we're going to have a look through the pictures, go through the answers, and then we'll do general knowledge round. Can we have some more time? Let's have a quick look back at the. There you go. Have a quick look back at the doctors there. Simon, if you've missed some of that, if you do have a mobile device, just recommend maybe just take a photo of the screen now, because we're going to go back through the answers for round 1, whilst you're having a quick look at the doctors. If you need more time there. Okay. Just give you a second to take a photo of that. I've got absolutely no idea who number 1 is. Number 7, not a clue. Number 8, no idea. Number 10, yeah, I reckon I would have got that. 9, obviously, is a sci-fi film, sci-fi fan. Number 13, I'm not so sure. And don't really know about number 15. Okay, right. What have we got? I can hear you and I can see you but can't log on. Got 0 in the doctor's round, somebody says. That's fine. We'll see how you get on. Right, so let's go through cryptic companies. So these are the answers. So, cryptic companies, number 1 is Marks and Spencer. Number 2 is, quite simply, Orange, which doesn't exist now, does it? I think it's just all rolled into EE. Number 3, slightly tricky, this one. So this is Tesco. Tesco it becomes. So it's Tesco. Number 4, I believe that's the Goss brothers, aka Bros, but it's Argos. So it's a letter R. The Goss brothers, Argos. Number 5, the other company that doesn't really exist anymore because I think it's part of the EE network, but that is T-Mobile. Number 6 is simply Virgin. Number 7 is Subway. Number 8 is Woolworths. Yeah, there's not really much of a clue in the fact that it says sorry we're closed, other than the fact that Woolworths doesn't exist anymore and you can kind of see the Woolworths logo behind. It's a bit of a funny cryptic clue, that one. Number 9 is just simply Everest. Number 10 is Morrison's. Number 11 is B&Q. I think that's my favourite of the lot. Number 12 is quite tricky. It's a piggy bank, so they're saving something, and the thing that they are saving is just simply Specs. Little black dots, Specs. So it's Specsavers on number 12. Number 13, Nescafe, because it's the Hard Rock Cafe and that's the Loch Ness Monster, Nescafe. Number 14, slightly less clear, but that is a £1 banknote, so it's Poundland. And number 15 was also quite tricky, so that is a roller, and the movie character behind the roller is Lex Luthor, so it's Rolex. So let me know how you got on out of that one. That was the Cryptic Companies round. So scores out of 15, please let me know in the comments, and I'm going to whiz across to the doctors and see how many doctors you got. By the way, as you can see, I have completely pinched these from quizmasters.biz. I did honestly check the website for sort of terms of use, and they're open to donations, but otherwise don't ask for anything in terms of copyright. So it looks like I've stolen it. I have, but it's okay. So we've got some scores coming through. Quite tricky on the picture round this week. We've got a 7, a 6, a 9, and another 6. So sort of around about the 50% mark there. So as it stands, you're kind of level to where I thought I would be if I was taking part. And now we have the doctors. So here are the answers for the doctors. Still don't know who this is. I've got his name in front of me, not a clue. But number 1 is Dr. Crippen. So if you got that, well done. Please let me know in the comments who he is. Number 2 is Dr. Richard Kimball. Character, that's obviously Harrison Ford, but it's the character he played in that film. Number 3 is Dr. Evil. Number 4 is Dr. Dolittle. Number 5 is Dr. Octopus, or Doc Ock. I would accept either answer, or the variation thereof. The keyword there is octopus, from Spider-Man. Number 6 is Dr. Emmett Brown, Great Scott, from Back to the Future. Number 7 is Dr. Miriam Stoppard. Stoppard? Don't know. Still don't know who she is. So do let me know in the comments who Miriam Stoppard is. Also don't know who this is, but well done if you got the answer right. Number 8 is Dr. David Owen. His face kind of looks familiar. Number 9 is Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy from Star Trek, the original series. Number 10, Dr. Zhivago. Number 11, Dr. Fox. He's a DJ. I'm sure he had another name like Foxy something or other, or something or other Foxy, but it's Dr. Fox. Number 12 is Dr. No, of James Bond fame. Don't know who number 13 is, but he looks like he's probably a character from a TV show. Dr. Kildare. Kildare, Kildare. Number 14, Dr. Gregory House from the TV series House. And number 15, as somebody pointed out in the YouTube comments, please don't say the answers in the YouTube comments, but number 15 is Doc Holliday. And those are your doctors for today. Now, with the press of a button, bring you back into the room, and unfortunately you've got to look at my face because we're going to go through the general knowledge questions now. By the way, it is Friday afternoon. It is sort of clocking off time from work, particularly if you, like me, you finished at 4:30 when the quiz started. If you don't finish till 5, well, give yourself 11 minutes off. And get the drinks in. It's Friday afternoon. It's the start of the weekend. What a way to start it, listening to me on the internet. So general knowledge, there's 10 questions here. Hopefully not too tricky. There's a few multi-choice questions. There's sort of a general theme running through the last few quizzes where every week there's sort of a question on history, a question on geography, and a question on Monopoly, and a few things like that. So here we go. Oh, sorry, I forgot to ask about the scores. How did we get on? People are saying 11 out of 15 on that. That's a good score. Got a 10, 11 and 9. We've got a grand total of 18 out of 30 there. Somebody's put their grand total of the 2 rounds, so that's good. That's more than I thought I would have got if I was doing a quiz, so well done. Right, general knowledge. Here we go. Eyes down for a full house. Question number 1. It's about ancient Romans. What have the Romans ever done for us? That's not the question. Who is the ancient Roman god of the sea? Quite a few people know the Greek gods, but do we know the Roman gods? Can you remember all the way back from primary school? Because that seems to be all we did in primary school, was learn about the Romans and the Greeks. Who is the ancient Roman god of the sea? What is his or her name? Or their name. I don't know if they have genders, the gods. That's question number 1. Who is the ancient Roman god of the sea? Question number 2. How many counties are there in England? And this is a multi-choice question. And by counties we mean the sort of geographic counties, also known as ceremonial counties. Are there 38 counties in England? Are there 48 counties in England? Or are there 58 counties in England? So geographic counties, for example, Essex. Count them all up. How many are there in England? 38, 48 or 58? And if you need a minute to sort of name as many as you can and sort of guess roughly where that number might be headed, then hurry up. Okay. Number 3, this week's Monopoly question. On a Monopoly board, standard Monopoly board, how many coloured property spaces are there? And this is another multiple choice question. How many coloured property spaces? So we're not including the 2 utilities, we're not including the 4 stations, and then all the rest don't think are properties. They're either tax or community chest or chance or whatever. So it's just the coloured properties. There's some brown ones and some red ones and so on. So how many of them are there? Are there 20, 22 or 24? So on a Monopoly board, how many coloured property spaces are there? 20, 22 or 24? If you don't know, have a guess. It's a multi-choice question. Number 4. Celebrity question. By what stage name is Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta better known? And you have heard of this person. By what stage name is Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta better known? And if you were to have a guess, you might guess based on one of those names sounding like somebody famous that you do know, but you'd be wrong if that's what I think you're going to do on that one. It's not that person. I'll give you a clue there. So by what stage name is Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta better known? It's a lot of names. Question number 5. What year was the original animated film The Lion King released? Was it 1992, 1993 or 1994? What year was the original animated film The Lion King released? 1992, 1993 or 1994? Question number 6, this week's token sports question. Which single-seat road race uses only electric cars? I know my colleague Lizzie, who's playing along, is going to find that question irritating because it mentions electric cars again and I never shut up about them. So question number 6 is a sports question / electric car question. Which single-seat road race uses only electric cars? And Jiff has pointed out that the original Lion King film was released before she was born. Thank you very much for that. Number 7. Due to the low demand for electricity caused by the lockdown, how long did the UK go without using any coal power? Was it 47 days, 67 days, or 87 days? So we've recently fired up a coal power station now that demand is kind of coming back in. They fired it up just to kind of test it and stuff. It technically didn't supply any of the grid, but because they restarted it, they counted that as ending the coal-free streak. So due to low demand for electricity caused by the lockdown, how long did the UK go without using coal power? 47 days, 67 days or 87 days? And it's the longest we've ever gone without coal power since the very first coal power station was turned on. Lizzie, I can't repeat what I said on here. Yes, do keep it at least PG, if not U, universal. Right, number 8. Number 8 is this week's sort of nature/sciencey question. What part of the body is the mandible? So in not too many words, what part of the body is the mandible? mandible. What part of the body is the mandible? If you don't know, have a guess. Question number 9. To the nearest minute, how many minutes does it take for light to travel from the sun to the earth? To the nearest minute. And I'll give you a clue, it's a single digit number of minutes. So it's not 10 or more minutes. So to the nearest minute, how many minutes does it take light from the sun to reach the earth? And question number 10, as seems to be the norm, is a spelling question. What is the British spelling of the word, and it's a real tricky one, this one. What is the British spelling of the word manoeuvre? As in, I'm going to manoeuvre around you. So what is the British spelling of the word manoeuvre? It's got a very French-looking spelling to it, but it's the British spelling of that word that I'm looking for. I believe it is spelt differently in America. I think they drop a couple of the spare vowels. So that was question number 10, and that was the end of the general knowledge round. So give yourselves... I was going to say give yourselves a score out of 10, but we haven't gone through the answers. Do let me know in the comments if you want to repeat any questions. That's the bit we do at this point. I repeat questions as needed. So let me know if you want any of those questions repeated. If not, then we'll go through the answers. Today's quiz, by the way, is going to be out of a total score of... We've got 30 on the pitch around, 10 on general knowledge, 10 on answer mash coming up. And this week's music round is normally 20 points, but there is a bonus 10 points, and I'll explain that a bit later as well. So any more on those questions? Nobody's saying anything on the chat, so I assume everybody's cool. So let's go through the answers. So question number 1. Who is the ancient Roman god of the sea? It is Neptune. Question number 2. How many counties are there in England? Is it 38, 48 or 58? The answer is 48 ceremonial or geographic counties. That is according to Wikipedia at 11:20 last night. Question number 3. On a Monopoly board, how many coloured property spaces are there? So there's 2 browns, 3 light blues, 3 pinks, 3 oranges, 3 reds, 3 yellows, 3 greens and 2 dark blues for a total of 22 coloured property spaces. Number 4. By what stage name is Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta better known? The answer is Lady Gaga. Or if you're feeling posh, Lady Gaga. Number 5. What year was the original animated film The Lion King released? Hands up if you said 1992. You're wrong. It's 1994. And it was the... yeah. I'm just gonna... Oh. Sorry, gone off on a tangent. What year was the original animated film The Lion King released? It was 1994. I was thinking of Toy Story in my head. Question number 6, sports question. Which single-seat road race uses only electric cars? The answer we're looking for is Formula E. I don't know of any other single-seat road races that use only electric cars, so apologies if there is another one. But the answer we're looking for is Formula E. That is a thing, if you didn't know. There's, you can take part in motorsport, which is slightly less heavy on fuel. Number 7. Due to low demand caused by the lockdown, how long did the UK go without using coal power? Was it 47 days, 67 days or 87 days? The answer is 67 days. And that's the longest we've been without coal power since the very first coal power station was fired up at some point in the 1800s. Number 8. What part of the body is the mandible? I'm happy to take a couple of variations on the answer here, but the specific answer we're looking for is the lower jawbone. So if you said the jaw or the mouth or something like that, then give yourself a point, but jawbone, lower jawbone specifically is what we're after there. Question number 9, to the nearest single digit minute, how many minutes does it take light from the sun to reach the earth? The answer is 8 minutes. It's sort of between 8 minutes 20 and 8 minutes 45 because, not 8 minutes 45. Whatever 0.45 of a minute is, so just under 8 minutes 30 seconds. And it varies because the distance that the earth is away from the sun varies as well. I think 8 minutes 20 is the average, but I think it's anywhere between 8 minutes 10 and 8 minutes 30, something like that. So the answer we're looking for is 8, as a long story short there. Right, number 10, the British spelling of the word manoeuvre. Here we go. M-A-N. I think we've all got that bit. Man. Now the oeuvre bit is O, then it's E, then it's U, and then it's V-R-E. So there's like a whole mashup of vowels in the middle there. So it's M-A-N-O-E-U-V-R-E, manoeuvre. So that's apparently the British spelling of the word manoeuvre. So give yourselves a score out of 10 on the general knowledge. So it's 30, 40, 50, 60. So we actually got a maximum score of 80 today, I think. Have I got that right? So 30 for pictures, 40 for general knowledge, 50 for the arts at MASH, 60, 70 for the music round, and then a bonus 10 points. So yeah, maximum score of 80 today. It's a big score. So we've got some scores coming in on the general knowledge round. We've got 7 out of 10, very well done, Simon, that's a good shout. We've got a 6, a 5 and a 7. Just changing her mind now, 6, 7. Was it 6 and then you realised somebody else got 7, so you just said 7? Okay, some good scores there, thanks guys. Right, so Answer Mash, my favourite round just because of the hilariousness of the answers. It's the last quiz, so I've treated myself and made the theme of these 10 questions, or the thing that links them all together, something that I am a fan of myself. I've got another score of 7 just come up on the scores there, and 5 on them. So today's theme for these is sci-fi. So apologies if we just suddenly see a drop-off of concurrent viewers as they all go, and sci-fi, I'm out. This won't take long, and only half of the question is sci-fi. The other half is something else that might help you out. So this is sci-fi, and it's not all Star Trek, although there's a couple of Star Trek ones in here. It's from a range of sci-fi films, some of which you might not have even really considered to be sci-fi. So here we go. 6 million points. Well done, Craig. So, question number 1. Oh, by the way, for new people, sorry, I forgot to mention, Craig, friend of mine, this is the first one you've tuned in for, so just to give you a heads up on how this round works, I give you 2 clues, and you mash the answers together. They don't always sound like they're mashed together, but spelling-wise they do. And the example I give every week is famous blue spiky computer game character that collects gold rings. That would be Sonic the Hedgehog. And the place where Harry Potter studies during term time, which would be Hogwarts. So you mash the 2 answers together, and the correct answer we're looking for is Sonic the Hedgehog Hogwarts. And that's where the humour lies, because I like saying those weird things. So, today's questions have sci-fi in common. Question number 1. The name of the ships that were captained by James T. Kirk and Jean-Luc Picard. It wasn't the exact same ship, but they both did have the same name. And a catchphrase made famous by the child in the film The Sixth Sense. So, the first half of the answer is the name of the ships that were captained by James T. Kirk and Jean-Luc Picard. And the catchphrase, one of the catchphrases, it's kind of the catchphrase from this film, made famous by the child in the film Sixth Sense. That's question number 1. Question number 2. A 1982 sci-fi film starring Harrison Ford and a green-coloured legume. I had to look up how to pronounce that. Is it legume? Legume. Often eaten in the UK as a side vegetable. So, 1982 sci-fi film starring Harrison Ford and a green-coloured legume often eaten in the UK as a side vegetable. And if you're totally stuck on that one, I can give you a bit more of a clue on the first half of the answer. I don't really know how else to give you a clue on the second half of the answer without giving it away. Question number 3. A species of humanoid in Star Trek franchise famous for their forehead ridges and their aggressive tendencies. And a film starring Nicolas Cage involving the theft of lots of cars in a very short space of time. So a species of humanoid in the Star Trek franchise famous for their forehead ridges and their aggressive tendencies. And a film starring Nicolas Cage involving the theft of lots of high-value cars in a very short period of time. Question number 4. 2009 film directed by James Cameron featuring tall blue people, and a baked dish consisting of a filling over a pastry base and an open top. There's sort of a general term that describes that kind of food. It's a very short word. So 2009 film directed by James Cameron featuring tall blue people, and a baked dish consisting of a filling over a pastry base with an open top. I do like the answer to that one. Question number 5. A 2002 film in which Tom Cruise is accused of a murder he hasn't yet committed. And he plays basically a police officer who detects murders that haven't yet been committed, and then they stop them. That's kind of his job in the film. And the words that mean the left and right sides of a ship. So 2002 film in which Tom Cruise is accused of a murder he hasn't yet committed, and the words that mean the left and right sides of a ship. Question number 6. An animated 2008 film about a robot whose job it is to clean up the Earth, and Albert Einstein's famous equation. So, a 2008 animated film. Speaking of which, I've got a notification just popped up from Disney+. Oh, and Netflix says that Rick and Morty is back. Fantastic. 2008 animated film about a robot whose job it is to clean up the Earth, and Albert Einstein's famous equation. Number 7. A 1987 film about a police officer who was killed in the line of duty but brought back to life as a cybernetic law enforcement officer. We have the technology. And a word that means to have intercourse. This quiz is PG rated. 1987 film about a police officer who was killed in the line of duty but brought back to life as a cybernetic law enforcement officer, and a word that means to have intercourse. Number 8. 1977 Spielberg film featuring a mountain made out of mashed potato, and a chocolate treat for kids that hides a small plastic toy. And this is one of those answers that mashes together in spelling but not in pronunciation, so good luck to me saying that one live on air later. 1977 Steven Spielberg film featuring a mountain made out of mashed potato, and a chocolate treat for kids that hides a small plastic toy. Number 9. Time Travel Trilogy from Robert Zemeckis. There aren't many movies that are time travel movies that are a trilogy, so that kind of narrows that down a little bit for you. And the tube that carries your wee-wee out from your bladder. So, biology question. Question number 9. Time Travel Trilogy from Robert Zemeckis, and the tube that carries your wee-wee out from your bladder. And finally, question number 10. The gold-coloured human-cyborg relations droid, and the mildly blasphemous 3-letter abbreviation used in text speak when you are exclaiming surprise, frustration, or excitement. So it's the gold-coloured human-cyborg relations droid. It's a very bad impression, I'm sorry. And the mildly blasphemous 3-letter abbreviation used in text speak when you are exclaiming surprise, frustration, or excitement. There is also a 4-letter version of that abbreviation with the inclusion of the letter F, but because this is a PG-rated quiz, we're not doing that version of that. We're just doing the one without the F in it. And that was today's questions. Repeat number 1, please. Somebody's on the ball there, knowing that I'm about to repeat the questions. So, number 1 is the name of the spaceships. I said ships, but let's say spaceships to make it a bit easier. That were captained by James T. Kirk, Captain Kirk, and Jean-Luc Picard, Captain Picard. What was the name of their ship? It was a different ship, but they had the same name. What was the name of their ship? And the second half is the catchphrase made famous by the child in the film The Sixth Sense, or The Sixth Sense, or just Sixth Sense. I'm not sure. Is it the, a, or just? There we go. Any others need repeated? 8 and 9. Okay, number 8. 1977 Steven Spielberg film featuring a mountain made out of mashed potato. So one of the characters sees a vision and makes a mountain out of mashed potato that represents a real mountain. There's a bit more of a clue for you. And a chocolate treat for kids that hides a small plastic toy. And if I'm honest, I don't think I've seen these for sale, but then again, I haven't been looking for them, honest. But they're sort of round in shape, and you eat the chocolate, and there's a small plastic toy inside. And number 9, somebody says, so time travel trilogy from Robert Zemeckis. If it helps, they travel in a time-travelling car. And the tube that carries your wee-wee out from your bladder. And I did look at this, it's the same, the tube has got the same name whether you're a boy or a girl. Obviously the parts, there are differences. Ask your mum. And that was number 9. Number 10, you don't want that repeated, because nobody's asked for that. So there you go, those are the ones that I've repeated. And that's the end of the answer match round. Here we go. We've got 13 concurrent viewers. Welcome to whoever joined us during that round. This is the answer match round. Doesn't matter that you've missed half the quiz. It's just a bit of fun. And music round's coming up soon, and that's good fun. So here we go. You do want number 10, or you think you've got 10 correct. We've got to move on because we're running out of time. So number 1, the spaceships that were captained by James T. Kirk and Jean-Luc Picard, and the catchphrase made famous by the child in the film Sixth Sense. Mash the answers together. You should have Enterprisey dead people. Enterprise and I see dead people. Mash it together and you get Enterprisey dead people. Number 2, 1982 sci-fi film starring Harrison Ford. And the green-coloured legume, often eaten in the UK as a side vegetable. The answer we're looking for is Blade Runner bean. Blade Runner and runner bean. Number 3, a species of humanoid in the Star Trek franchise made famous for their forehead ridges and their aggressive tendencies, and a film starring Nicolas Cage involving the theft of lots of cars in a short period of time. The answer we're looking for is Klingon in 60 seconds. So Klingon and Gone in 60 seconds. Klingon in 60 seconds. Number 4, 2009 film directed by James Cameron featuring tall blue people and a baked dish consisting of a filling over a pastry base and an open top. The answer we're looking for is Avatar. That would have been an entirely different film. Avatar. Avatar and tart simply becomes Avatar. Number 5, 2002 film in which Tom Cruise is accused of a murder he hasn't yet committed. And the words that mean the left and right sides of a ship, the answer we're looking for is Minority Report and Starboard. So Minority Report and then Port and Starboard. So we've got Minority Report and Starboard. Number 6, 2008 animated film about a robot whose job it is to clean up the Earth, and Albert Einstein's famous equation. You should have Wall E equals MC squared. Does he now? Number 7, 1987 film about a police officer who's killed in the line of duty but brought back to life as a cybernetic law enforcement officer, and the word that means to have intercourse. The answer we're looking for here is Robocopulate. That also would have been an entirely different film. Robocopulate. Number 8, the 1977 Spielberg film featuring a mountain made out of mashed potato and a chocolate treat for kids that hides a small plastic toy. We're looking for, here's the difficult bit, try and get this right, Close Encounters of the Third Kinder Surprise. Kinder Surprise. Close Encounters of the Third Kinder Surprise. It mashes together in spelling but not in pronunciation. So Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Kinder Surprise becomes Close Encounters of the Third Kinder Surprise. Number 9. Time travel trilogy from Robert Zemeckis, and the tube that carries your wee-wee out from your bladder is Back to the Future urethra. So silly. So Back to the Future and urethra becomes Back to the Future urethra. Oh, I need to grow up. Question number 10. The gold-coloured human-cyborg relations droid, that's a reference to Star Wars, and the mildly blasphemous 3-letter abbreviation used in internet speak or text speak when you are exclaiming surprise, frustration or excitement. The answer we're looking for is C3POMG. And that is the end of the answer mash. So do let me know how many you got out of 10. So you don't get half, well, you can get half a point, but you don't get 2 points for each question. It's 1 point per question. You can give yourself a half if you really want to give yourself half an answer. And let's see what's happening in the comments whilst those responses are coming through. Let's have a look. Oh, that's the score, 10. Oh, nicely done. We haven't done the scores yet. Been there, Mum says. Yes, you have been to Devil's Tower, which is the name of the actual kind of... It's not really a mountain. It's what's left of the centre of a volcano. It's a harder rock, so everything else got eroded away around it, and the solid magma cooled down and went hard, and that's hard, and that's why it... Okay, we've got some 10s. Excellent. We've got 9.5 out of 10. I'd be interested to know what the 0.5 was that you didn't get. Oh, there's my boy outside. He's back from his walk with Mummy. Big loud laugh out there. Still got no birds on the bird feeder out there. Let's have a quick check in on the bird feeder. Nothing is happening out there. Most weeks there's loads of birds out there disturbing the quiz or having a fight or crashing into the window or goodness knows what else. But this week, none. It's because I've set up a camera to watch them. Thanks, Craig. What is happening on Birdcam, he says. It's funny you should say that. Because of the delay, you're about to find out. So that was the answer mash. And I've delayed long enough for anybody who was quickly nipping off for a wee because we are moving on to the music round, which is the slightly tentative kind of part of the quiz because it's where sometimes things get cut off because of copyright reasons. Today's music quiz, being the last quiz and being generous, there's an opportunity to gain some extra points. It's a point for the name of the song. It's a point for the artist, but also as a bonus point, I have at my disposal the alleged year that the song was released. So if you can get that as well, that's tricky, which is why it's a bonus point. Then there is a maximum possible score on the music quiz this week of 30 points. Klingon. Kapla, kapla, which I think is a rude phrase in Klingon. I've slightly upgraded the headphones this week. Regular viewers will know that at this point I have to just kind of monitor the sound of my headphones so that I know that you can hear the music that I can hear. But the downside is that because there is a slight delay on everything I'm saying, I get a slight delay coming through on the headphones, and if I hear my own voice on a slight delay, I start to talk really slowly, and it's really bizarre. So if I sound like I've suddenly, fallen ill, don't worry, I'm fine. Right, music quiz. This is question number 1. Here we go. Eyes down for a full house. It is a point for the title of the song. It is a point for the artist. And this week, because it's the last quiz, you also get a point if you happen to know the year that the song was released. And that is the year according to this thing I've got in front of me, which was automatically kind of thingied. So if it's wrong, it's not my fault. I'm just going with the answers that are on here. Right, I'm going to shut up and get on with it. Here's question number 1 from the final music round. Oh. Ha! Hang on. What I need is one of those screens I can put up that says, there's an error. Hold on. I need to switch to this one. Okay. This should sound better now. It should be coming out properly. There you go. That's all you're getting on that one, by the way. So, title of the song, artist, and a bonus point this week, the year. Okay, that was question number 1. Question number 2 is this. Okay, question number 2 again. Title of the song, the artist, and the year of release. Question number 3. Just going to boost these a bit louder. I turn them down a little bit because music tends to come out louder than dialogue, but it's now too quiet. So just boost that and have this one again. Come on. Okay, number 4. Ooh, not so obvious to begin with, but as that one gets a few seconds in, it sounds a bit familiar. Okay, that was number 4. Number 5.
You're everywhere.
Here it is again. Number 5.
You're everywhere.
Okay, number 6. Number 6 again. Number 7.
You change your mind.
Here it is again, number 7.
You change your mind.
There's a question over one of those questions. No, it's not the Glee version. That's a reference to question number 6, isn't it? It's not the Glee version. It's the original. Number 8.
There she was.
I can hear you through the internet singing to that one. Here it is again, number 8.
There she was.
Number 9.
You.
I don't know about you, but I think of the supermarket Morrison's when I hear that.
You.
And question number 10. And again, this is the original, not like the remake. And there we go, that is the music round. So do let me know in the comments if you need any of those repeated. And we're looking for the title of the song, the artist, and the year. So possible 30 whacking great points on this one. So if you know your music, you stand a good chance of winning this week's quiz. Unless anybody says anything in the comments, we'll assume that everybody got all of those and we'll just immediately go through the answers. We're doing okay for time. I do try and keep it within an hour and we've got 5 minutes left. So, okay, here we go. Here's the answers. Nobody saying anything. Too late, too late. Number 6, somebody says, oh, you're just in time. So this is number 6. This is the original, not the Glee version. Okay, that was number 6. Right. Can we have them all again, please? No, you can't. Here we go. Right, number 1. That was Dancing Queen by ABBA. So point for the title, point for the artist. And the year, 1976. Which is now quite a long time ago. I can't do the maths. It's a while ago. Right. 40... Blimey. That is a while ago. Right, number 2. That is The Tide is High by Blondie. Point for each of those answers. And the year was 1980. Well done if you got that one right. Number 3. That is Crocodile Rock by Elton John. And the year for that one is 1972. Well done if you got all 3 points on there. I wouldn't have got that. I would have got 2 out of 3 on that one. As I probably would have done on a lot of these questions, I've only got 2 out of 3. The years are a bit tricky. Number 4. Yeah, it's not until that extra bit starts that I would have got that one. So technically, the answer we're looking for on that one is December 63, in brackets, Oh What a Night. So if you put December, if you put 63, if you put Oh What a Night, or some combination of those things, give yourselves a point for the title. The artist is Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And the year on that one is 1976. So well done if you got 3 points on that one. Well done if you got 2, because I don't know if I would have got the answer on that one. Number 5 is this one.
You're everywhere.
You're everywhere and nowhere, baby. Da, 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 da. And it's Hi Ho Silver Lining. So Hi Ho Silver Lining, if you just wrote Silver Lining, that's fine, I'll take the point. And the artist on that one is Jeff Beck. I don't think I would have got the artist, I'm a bit rubbish with artists. And the year on that one is 1967. 1967. Number 6 was this one. And that is Don't Stop Believin'. If you put the G on the end of Believin', that's absolutely fine, I'll take the point. But it's Believin', no G, apostrophe. Radio 2 fans will appreciate the no G. And the artist on that one was Journey. And the year was 1981. Number 7 was this one, much more modern, this one.
You change your mind.
Some of you might have got that just on the beat, but I thought I'd leave just a couple of lines of the lyrics in there as well. So the song is Hot and Cold, and the artist is Katy Perry, and the year is 2008 on that one. Question number 8 is this one.
There she was.
Just walking down the street singing. Do Our Diddy is the answer on that one. The original artist is Manfred Mann. Some of you might have put DJ Ötzi, which was the remake, or Ötzi, because I think it's an O with an umlaut on the top. DJ Ötzi. But it's not him. It's Manfred Mann, and the year is 1964. And this one, which was from a Morrison's advert, other supermarkets are available. The song title is Shine, the artist is Take That, and the year is 2006. And finally, the final question of the final quarantine quiz for now was this one. That is, of course, Amarillo. If you're going to get fancy, before the word Amarillo, you might have put in brackets the words, is this the way to? So if you've got Amarillo, that's the key word we're looking for there. The original artist there is Tony Christie, and the year is 1972. And with that final answer, give yourselves a score out of 30 on that round, and let me know in the comments how you're getting on. Just having a look at my screen, it still says excellent connection, we haven't been cut off, so I'm assuming you're all still with us. So give yourselves a score out of 30 on the music round, and then give yourselves an overall score out of 80 I think that's the highest score we've had on one of the quarantine quizzes. 26 out of 30, blimey, that's really good going on the music round. We can tell you're a hospital radio DJ. So let us know your total scores out of 80, please, guys, and we'll see who are the winners on this final quiz. And all that's left for me to say, really, is thank you very much for joining and putting up with me. I know I waffle. 25 out of 30 is a good score. 18 out of 30 is still a good score on a music round. 24, excellent. We have somebody there with a grand total score on quarantine quiz number 10 of 61 out of 80. So that's, roughly speaking, 3 out of 4 overall. Got a 49 out of 80, still a respectable score. Keep them coming in, let me know how you get on. And thanks for joining us. It's just an hour of fun on a Friday afternoon to get through quarantine. It is now officially the weekend. You are free to go and enjoy yourselves without having to listen to me. Oh wow! Look at that! We've got 2 58.5s out of 80. Fantastic. Well, if that was the joint first place, I mean, at the moment you're in joint second place, so we could do a tiebreaker to decide second and third if you really want. But I do need to rustle up a tiebreaker question. I'll tell you what, I've got a tiebreaker question off the top of my head. We mentioned the Starship Enterprise earlier. What is the number, like the license plate, if you will, of the Starship Enterprise out of those two teams that are joint second place? The first one with the correct answer gets second place. There we go. Paul Cooling, you are very welcome. Thanks for joining. Thank you everybody for joining in. It wouldn't have been the same if you hadn't been here. I would have just been talking to myself and creating a load of videos that will just go on YouTube that nobody would ever look at. Thanks also to the people who watch when it's off the air. I do know at least one family who watch afterwards. Hi, Hanny. We're happy to share second. That's the spirit. That's what got us through quarantine. So that's it. That's the end. And I'm just going to put that screen back across there. Just a quick look at the birds. Let's go back to that camera. There is nothing going on out there. I haven't just been making it up. There have been birds out there, but there just aren't any today flapping around. That's the end of the quarantine quiz. Thank you very much for joining. I'm going to do like a posh fade out thing now, like whee, and go to the microphone. Thanks for joining us. Go and enjoy your weekends. And that's it. Maybe we'll do this again sometime in the future. Who knows? Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.